I'm Dave Collins with cleverhiker.com, and today we're going to take a look at lightweight sleeping setups to keep you warm and safe on the trail. Your lightweight sleeping system consists of three things: a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, and some form of a pillow. It's really important for both safety and comfort on the trail. It's hard to have a lot of fun out on a camping trip if you're feeling too cold or too hot at night, or also if it feels like you're sleeping on sharp rocks. Your sleeping system is also going to be one of the three largest weight-saving choices in your bag. A traditional sleeping bag can easily weigh 3 to 5 pounds, whereas lightweight bags are generally under 2 pounds and can get as little as 1 pound. A lot of the weight savings from your sleeping system is actually just going to come from choosing the right type of gear for the climate that you generally hike in. For example, for years I carried a 15-degree sleeping bag that was rated for really cold temperatures, but I took it out on trips during the spring, summer, and fall when temperatures rarely got to freezing, let alone 17 degrees below freezing. I was always carrying a bag that was too heavy, and I was always way too hot at night. Let's take a closer look at sleeping bags. A sleeping bag works to keep you warm through loft, not actually weight. So actually, the higher the sleeping bag is going to sit on top of your body, the more warm it's going to keep you. The temperature rating of a sleeping bag is simply a measure of the loft, or how warm it's going to keep you, and the manufacturer's best guess as to what temperature you're going to be kept warm in the bag up until. A 15-degree sleeping bag is going to have more loft and keep you a little bit warmer than a 25-degree sleeping bag will, which will keep you warmer than a 35-degree sleeping bag will. Lightweight hikers and long-distance hikers generally choose sleeping bags with a rating of 25 to 40 degrees, depending on how hot or cold they sleep. If you get a lightweight bag and you're concerned about having a few cold trips, you can always increase your warmth in your sleeping bag by either bringing a lightweight liner, which can be very light and can add a few degrees of warmth to your bag, wearing your jacket or long johns in your sleeping bag while you sleep. Stay away from cotton though, because it generally won't be helpful. Or you can even wear your mittens and hats while you sleep if it gets really cold. Your next choice with sleeping bags is going to be the type of insulation. Down and synthetic are the two main insulation types. Down bags tend to be lighter and compress a little bit more, but they will cost more than a synthetic bag. The weight savings is real though, and for the same temperature rating sleeping bag, a down bag can often be almost a pound less than the synthetic bag. Synthetic bags do perform a little bit better than down bags when wet because they don't lose quite as much of their loft. Still, a night slept in a really wet sleeping bag is going to be uncomfortable either way, so it's best not to choose your sleeping bag based on that criteria. The length and the width of your sleeping bag is also an important consideration. Ultralight bags do tend to be a little bit tighter, so you're going to make sure you want to get in them and try them out before you buy it. And also make sure you get the right length, because you don't want to either have your head poking out the end or have pockets of air in the sleeping bag that are going to cause it to be less efficient. As far as long-term value goes, down bags are said to have a little bit of an edge over synthetics, but they both last a really long time. If you treat your sleeping bag well, it can last 25 years or more. My personal preference when it comes to sleeping bags is to go with a down bag, and I use a 35-degree bag. I'm willing to pay a little bit more for the warmth to weight of a down sleeping bag, and a 35-degree bag I find keeps me warm in most conditions that I go in, and I can carry a little extra if it's going to be a really cold trip. The next choice for your sleeping system is your sleeping pad. The pad is going to obviously work to keep you comfortable at night, but it's also going to insulate your body from the cold ground. Thicker pads are going to mean more insulation, and your basic choice when it comes to sleeping pads is between an air-filled pad and a foam pad. Air-filled pads are nice and comfortable. They have adjustable firmness, and most people think that they're a little bit more comfortable than sleeping on foam pads. They pack up nice and light, and they're very small. They can get as light as 8 ounces. Downsides are they tend to be a little bit more expensive and they can puncture in the field, so you're always going to want to make sure you take a small repair kit with you when you go backpacking with an air-filled pad. Foam pads are also a favorite of ultralight hikers because they tend to be very useful. They're really lightweight. They get as light as 8-10 ounces as well. And they can be used for multiple things, like your frame for your backpack, a nice seat while you're sitting on the trail. Downsides to foam pads are they compress a little bit over time, so eventually you're going to have to replace it. It tends to be a little bit bulkier. If you're not using it as your pack frame, it can be hard to find a place to put it in your backpack. And also, a lot of people find air pads to be a little bit more comfortable to sleep on than foam pads. My personal preference is to go with an air-filled pad for a more comfortable night's rest. I also choose a length that's a little bit shorter. I go with a short length to save weight, and I let my feet hang off the end. If need be, I can put a little extra insulation down there of extra clothes or my backpack. The last choice for your sleeping system is going to be your pillow. And the really lightweight way to do it is to simply take an extra stuff sack, throw some clothes in it, and boom, you've got a pillow that's not going to cost you any extra weight. Another option is a lightweight blow-up pillow. They can get as light as 3 ounces. It's really a personal preference depending on your comfort level. Hopefully that should give you a good start on how to stay really light while having some of the best trail sleep of your life. I'm Dave Collins for cleverhiker.com. Hike light, hike smart, and have fun.